such troubles were simply unimaginable.
These knights should turn their attention to the Cantrop has no worries about attorneys.
Now bring us some figgy pudding and drink. Right here.
Ollie, Ollie! Accent free!
No, Pickerittle.
Master Witcher!
You!
Banana
He came here!
banana
He comes!
Are you not? Would shall you face off again?
I challenge you to...
Noble lords and virtuous ladies, another fight is soon to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, the Witcher defeats the previously invincible Stillwaters. And what about it was? Freed of his vow, the knight can now show his face.
Your blows are strong and true. My congratulations.
Thanks.
Have you naught to add? I'm a woman. No wry remarks?
What for? It's the 13th century. Nothing peculiar about it. Women own taverns, run farms, and fight.
Will you not claim there was no honor in fighting a wench?
No. I'd expect to hear that from someone who is afraid to lose to a woman.
Now only Colossus stands between you and a chance at the Maestro. San Sebastian, that's where you should go. Look for the largest courtyard.
You gave me the hiccups!
Spittoon! Hospital! Evalus!
Come on! Come here!
Oh,
The Duchess summoned him. I wonder what for. Ollie, Ollie! Accent free!
Good folk, have you seen these
Another
prices? murder by the horrid beast. Milton de Peyrac Peyron falls victim to his own cowardice.
Doth one know? Why so
What
grave?
will the morrow
Little
bring?
No. Greetings. Tea!
Where you going?
No point complaining.
Whose notion of order is this? Why doesn't someone do something?
What's this about?
The notice, is that it? Are you a witcher, master?
I am. Don't think I've seen your notice, though.
Not to fret. I shall tell you, and perhaps you'd care to help. Not free of charge, naturally. The din at the city cemetery. That's my grief. Screaming and clattering fill the air at night. A man can't get a lick of sleep. It all began on the day of Saint Zoltan's remembrance. I recall it precisely. I took the matter up with the ducal guard. They claim they found nothing, but I'm not sure they even bothered to look. What's left for me to do? Should I sniff about the cemetery myself?
How much will I get for this?
How much would you like? I don't believe I have that amount. What would you say to a festival discount? On account of the, tourney? Agreed.
Fine, I'll tend to it. Any victims? Someone go missing recently? Or are we just talking noises?
No one's come to harm, thank the gods. Why? Do you think it might be a monster?
Could be, but doesn't need to, though. Might also be grave robbers, tramps. Remains to be seen.
I can't rightly say what would be worse. Whatever the case, Godspeed, master.
It matters not the commands as fit as a fiddle, if he never...
Few drops of wine.
Can't hear anything. I might want to look around anyway.
Bathing tears away at the skin, and thus brings death closer.
But a few drops of wine.
Tracks.
Lo and behold, I see better.
Trampled grass and bloomers. Not the kind of moaning he meant, though.
But a few drops of wine, and lo and behold, I see better.
Cheap shenanigans. I can't see a thing through these cataracts. Cheap shenanigans. I can't see a thing through these cataracts.
Places my cough's back.
Graves dug up. Thing is, grave robbers don't usually wail and moan that much.
Scrawny, grey-haired, ill-favoured, turtley dumpings.
Trampled grass and bloomers. Not the kind of moaning he meant, though. Trampled grass and bloomers. Not the kind of moaning he meant, though.
Those noises again. I couldn't sleep a wink.
I've had enough of all of it.
If only I had the coin for a medic.
Beetroots and clummocks.
fighting. Noises coming from the catacombs, it seems. So, noises coming from here. Might be noisy, but doubt they're the source of the sounds in question. Not a soul. Strange. Doesn't look anything like a grave hag's lair either. Smashed, as if someone threw it against the wall. Louis de Corentin died on the day of Saint Zoetham's remembrance. Pretty fresh. Started right around then. It wasn't too long ago. Gold. Can't be grave robbers. None worth their salt would have left this. Here lies Margot de Corentin. No sign of monsters or grave robbers. Bit of a mess, that's all. Maybe this isn't the spot after all. Strange. Noise is clearly coming from that tomb. Impossible. Something's not right. Need to hide, see how things play out. Behind this statue, maybe?
You'd rather lie about all day, flipping those cards like some dwarf. Disgusting.
Indeed. Far better to stand at the door of Lepioda's temple, mumbling prayers from dawn till dusk.
Ingrid, I prayed for you, that you would cast off the yoke of gambling.
Fine job you did of it. Seems the gods had also heard enough of your cackling. And you? Why are you here? This is a private conversation.
Mind keeping it down? Neighbors are complaining.
Neighbors? Everyone here is dead.
I know not your name, but you must help me. I refuse to spend eternity at the side of this heathen. Remove him from my crypt at once!
Slow down. What's the problem?
This is my crypt, and this saintly shrew harangues me even in death. An eternity of nagging for misery.
I was blind and a fool to marry him. He's a slave to the cards, prepared to wager his own child on a round of Gwent.
Once, damn it, and as a jest. How many times must I explain? And who sank our fortune into some silly statue of Lebioda?
Piety. That was my cause. The prophet immortalized would have transformed this land of blasphemy and betting. How was I to know it was all a fraud?
Because I warned you some 500 times!
Quiet. Shut up, both of you. Who does the crypt belong to, rightfully?
Must you ask? It's mine. My family's. The de Corentans. Are you illiterate?
True. But my dowry served to repurchase it from those you owed.
Look, if there's to be peace and quiet here, one of you's gotta go. Need to move one of you out.
Yes. Take him. Please. Do so. And I shall tell you where I hid his lucky Gwent cards.
What? I knew it was you. And now you would evict me from my crypt, then pay for the deed with my cards. Blast it all! Had I those very cards at the tournament in Belhaven, I'd still be alive. It's your fault, you pox incarnate, that they stabbed me to death.
They murdered you for your debts. I had nothing to do with it.
Come, I heed this good book-thumping wench. Mind, I know well where she hid those cards. I'll tell you myself, as soon as you've removed her.
Need to think about it. All right, gotta move one of them out.
Thus spake the prophet Lepiota. Thou shalt
Louis
not
de
pray
Corentin.
for him.
Raise your
After which
size
he
to the
promptly
prophet
added,
Lebioda
"For
on
you
his
shall
behalf.
have none left for me."
Heretic, shut your mouth. I shall speak to you.
I see you fell for that pious tart's drivel. Drats! Ah, well, then listen. I've a request. Be a good fellow and set me in the chamber of the Gwent Friendship Society of Beauclair. It's just round the corner.
You a member?
That's just it. I was not. But I would have dearly liked to have been. And joining them in death shouldn't bother anyone.
Certainly doesn't bother me. I'll do it. Where's this chamber?
Once you enter the catacombs, go straight. The chamber will be on your right, near the corridor's mouth, and I thank you.
Deeper in the catacombs. Right, let's go. Chamber Louis mentioned. Gotta be.
You'll not find work here. Not paying work, that is.
gents also looking for that Gwent club?
What the poking devils? Who are you? Who sent you?
So many questions, so few answers.
Blimey, we're the plumbing philosopher. Get the smarmy cat diddler, lads.
If I only had a crown for every time a bunch like this. Right. High time Margot paid up. Done. Now where you got those cards?
Leave the city through the Cooper's Gate, then via right. Our house is easily recognized. A tree adorns the sign above the door. I buried the chest in the garden, beneath the rose bush.
Tree on a sign, rose bush. Think I got it.
Might I ask what you did with Louis? True, he knew nothing in life but Gwent, but I would still prefer he not spend eternity in a ditch or a privy.
Don't worry about it. Found him a nice place. Ought to feel right at home. Farewell.
Oi!
Here in Beauclair, all's right and fair. That Duchess of ours, have you at least diddled her arms?
Hey there. I'm done. Cemetery ought to be real nice and quiet now.
To sleep in my own bed once more. The clogs has grown intolerably loud. The punters bellow like men possessed. One madman especially, always shouting, "Order in! Order in!" But tell me, at the cemetery, what was it? Beasts, as you claimed?
Nope. Just a marital spat.
That's it? But they hollered like Stuart polecats. Sorry to bother you with such a trifle. Here for your trouble.
Thanks.
in order! Good man! I need a fresh set of shoes for my mouth. Promptly.
Witcher, I've a matter of prime urgency and import.
Your wound. Feeling better?
It's healing splendidly, though I am to avoid trouble for some time. To be frank, that is precisely why I wish to speak with you.
Want me to stand in for you? Take on some trouble on your behalf?
That could very well be the case. You see, there is a maiden, nay, a lady. I suspect someone's cast an ill spell upon her. A curse, perhaps.
What makes you think she might be cursed?
You must keep all I say to yourself, I beg you. I would never dare to be so indiscreet normally, yet I'm troubled about her, for her. Vivian shuns the company of others. Though the fairest maid at court, she keeps men at a distance. I thus determined I would resort to trickery.
Trickery? That even befitting of a knight?
In war, yes. And what is love if not battle? As it were, one evening I crouched in hiding outside her seamstress's home. As Vivian emerged from it, I too emerged. Ever so gently but convincingly collided with her, then promptly offered to escort her home. She consented. At first, all augured well. I proposed a more scenic route. She agreed. I made kindly forays into conversation, and she even began to respond as we neared the end of our route.
Then suddenly, mid-speech, from her mouth there flew a most hideous shriek. I stopped stone cold in my tracks while she turned red, then promptly ran off. I did not give chase that time. I attempted to approach her on several ensuing occasions, to learn what had happened, for I feared she had become entangled in some trouble. I noted that often, come night, she ventures into the woods, where I've seen her walk about a glade near a pool. I've striven on occasion to follow her, but lost track each time. It seemed then she'd melted into the air. Notice any other strange behavior? Additional symptoms?
No, Vivian's avoided me wholly since the first encounter. But folk gossip.
What about?
They say she's secretive, that no one ever sees her after dusk, that she's wont to suddenly disappear.
Nothing unusual about any of that. Tell me more about Vivian. Who is she? What's her story?
She's Her Enlightened Highness's lady-in-waiting. Her mother was a lady-in-waiting, her father a knight. That is all I've learnt, for the Duchessa grows angry when asked about her. Vivian spends her days within the palace walls. Yet we are in luck, for she has been named the tourney's patroness this year. Thus, each participant will be granted an audience with her.
Got a problem then. See, I'm not a participant.
I've devised a solution already. You shall take my place in the lists and thus gain the chance to speak to her. I was looking forward to winning the tourney, very much so. Yet for Vivian, I am prepared to sacrifice anything.
Fine, I'll look into it. Gotta admit, piqued my curiosity.
I shall be forever in your debt. Now, we must ensure you are not eliminated from the tourney before you can meet Vivian.
Meaning?
Could you show me how you shoot, ride and fight, perchance? And you must learn the tourney rules, know how to apply them in practice. I did not mean to suggest I doubt your abilities. Everyone must train, even a witcher. Besides, the tourney contests must surely differ, require skills you don't usually apply, races above all. The choice is yours. Where shall we start?
How about some swordplay?
Come with me. You will team with other knights to fight. The clash simulates a true skirmish during battle. Come the end, you shall fight a duel. It will determine your place on the podium. I always liked the duels the best, but now I can think only of my Vivian. In the end, it is good you will replace me. I sense I would simply be distracted this time. Stand at the center of the training ground. A knight will approach and challenge you.
Ouch! For honor, sir, we shall cross swords if you'll allow it. Come! Succumb to death's embrace! Go on! No remorse!
Do you wish to practice fighting a moment longer?
Think I've seen enough. Sorry to be blunt, but the simplest Witcher contract demands more skill than this kind of combat.
Where to now? If you wish to know my thoughts, were I you, I would train on the race course ahead of all else.
Let's do some riding. Roach will like that.
Excellent idea.
Hey-ho,
Come with me.
hey-ho. Night life is full of fluff.
The tourney's race differs from others you might have taken part in. You shall not ride against any opponent.
How's it a race at all, then?
It's a race against time. The true track begins in the arena, runs round the tourney grounds, then finishes again in the arena. The training track, however, lies beyond the arena. We shall go there now.
Can't pull one over on me, Witcher.
The gods have sent the beast as punishment for our sins. We have
All is ready. Now listen, for it can be quite a challenge. Along your route stand dummies and targets. The dummies you may cut with your blade. The targets you must hit from your crossbow. The time you have to complete the course shall increase each time you land a strike, be it with blade or bolt. It may sound simple enough, yet I've seen many a knight fail this contest and hang his head in shame. During the race proper, judges throughout the course shall tally your points. For now you may ride unperturbed by those matters.
Faster.
So, have you had enough, or
Had enough.
where to now?
Trained enough, I think. High time we...
She's not mine. Not yet. Now, you must go to the inscription tent. Honor and glory are all true and good, but...
Let's go!
Master Witcher, you wouldn't be seeking an Breed!
Greetings. Want to join the lists?
Naturally. We must first see to formalities, however. At Guillaume's request, I have looked into your personal history in its heraldic aspects.
Really? What did you come up with?
My findings show you may take part as Geralt of Rivia.
What a surprise.
Or as the Honorable Ravix of Forhorn. It's not every year we have a combatant who can boast of 2 crests. Which do you prefer?
I'm Geralt, not about to fight under a false name.
You may now take the shield bearing your crest.
I'm a Witcher. Shields aren't something Witchers ever use in combat.
Who mentioned using it in combat? Not I. The shield commemorates your participation in the tourney. You may take it as a souvenir.
In that case, thanks.
Have you been instructed as to the tourney's challenges, prizes, and vows? If not, I do hope you will allow me to tell you about them.
Guillaume told me a bit about the contests. Rather make sure I'm clear on them, though.
An admirable thirst for knowledge. There are contests 3. A shooting range, a horse race, during which you will seek to complete the course within a specified time. Any targets hit with bolts or dummies felt with blade will increase the time you have. Finally, the group melee in the arena, crowned with a duel against last year's champion. As each contest ends, its results will be posted on the board outside my tent. This way all will be apprised of who leads at any given moment.
Convenient. Feels like I know everything I'd ever want to know about chivalric tourneys.
Splendid. In that case, you must make your vow. Upon what would you like to swear it?
I swear on Her Grace's illustrious garter to respect the chivalric virtues in competing.
May the gods succor you in your endeavors to overcome. Sign here, please, then fill out these forms. That is all I need from you. Now, as arranged by Guillaume, you shall be fitted with appropriate armor for the tourney.
Shiny.
You have also been assigned a tent for the tourney's duration. It stands near the arena. Good luck.